Good morning, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. It's the patient hodler coming back at you with this live stream. And today, we are finally at the point where we probably can say that we can close the topic on the debt ceiling. We are going to talk about all the points that are capable of supercharging Bitcoin. As the thumbnail says, there are some very, very important factors regarding the Bitcoin price that I see here, and there are also some topics that I want to discuss with regards to Ecomi and Veve, especially with regards to Ecomi, and we are going to do that right in a second. But first of all, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping here because I forget that almost every second time, but nothing of what I say is financial advice, so please do your own research before you ape full degen into Bitcoin, Ecomi, Veve, NFTs and whatever other stuff that we are talking about here on the channel. Smarty Pants is already here. Morning to you again. Let's go. Went on a spending spree for Veve today, but got the SR Gwen Stacy comic on drop, so that's a good highlight. Congratulations to you if spending is something where we can say that. I hope that you are happy with your purchases there. That's great. Guys, everyone who is already here, please smash up the like button. And I also want to quickly thank my rare hodlers, my Patreons, my channel members for always supporting me. So the way to support me is always smashing the like button. Thanks for the like. I am really grateful for every like that I get on the stream. And if you want to do more, then yeah, you're always welcome to do that as well. But in general, the like and the free support is completely sufficient. Let's get into what is going on in the world. And sometimes I get the comment and why we are doing all of this. It's a rare comment, but I wanted to quickly address this. We are looking at the stuff that is coming from the world and then also at Bitcoin, because it is senseless to talk Ecomi and Veve and altcoins without considering all of this, because that's ultimately what is influencing the price and decides if we buy high and sell low or vice versa, right? So let's look at this quickly while we get our coffees ready. I hope you guys have your coffees ready as well. There should be the live chat also up here above my camera. And yeah, with that said, let's go. So the Senate passes the bill to raise the debt ceiling, preventing first ever US default. So it's done. It only has to be signed by the president, as it seems, who suggested this in the first place. So the US will prevent once more the first ever debt default. On late Thursday, yesterday, the House approved the bill to raise the debt ceiling. And once again, I cannot emphasize this enough because this is important for when we are looking at some charts later. What the debt ceiling approval means is that the US can print more money to pay their bills in the next 2 years. And there is a spending cut, as we have discussed yesterday, on the first year, which is from now until somewhere of middle of 2024, which is right after the halving. And then they can, let's say, increase their spending by 1%. I don't know if it's by 1% per month or whatever, but they are going to add additional trillions on top of what they have been already spending. Yesterday, in yesterday's live stream, if you have missed it, you could watch it. We have watched how the spending at the 31.4 trillion where we are today, and where it's more likely than not going over to over 51 trillion US dollars. So that means that they are basically agreeing to devalue the dollar by massive printing. And this is only if there's not another black swan event happening that allows them to print more money even. So, yeah. So the president is expected to sign it today, and with that, we all can be happy that we do not have to discuss that one anymore on the beginning of the live streams. No one gets everything they want in a negotiation, but make no mistake, this bipartisan agreement is a big win for our economy and the American people, said Biden in a statement after the vote. Stock futures rose slightly Thursday night as the US advert potential economic chaos. So markets hate uncertainty, now we have certainty. The compromise debt ceiling bill passed the Senate by a 63 to 36 margin. So that's only 3 votes above what is needed. 60 votes are the minimum. So 60 vote threshold. That was that a close call? Can we say that was a close call? I don't know, but it's not unanimous. Let's say. In some other articles I read, it was more about the Democrat-Republican power play. So the Republicans tried to get some power over the Democrats here. Nonetheless, that is politics and not that important right now here at this point. And the vote was the final chapter in a remarkable day of deal-making and rapid-fire voting in the Senate, a body that typically requires days, not hours, to deliberate over amend House bills. So, any numbers here for us to watch? I don't think so, because we have all covered them yesterday, I think. The current House debt ceiling bill provided 886 billion in defense spending. What? I think that was 700 billion only 2 years ago or 3 years ago for fiscal year 2024, and an increase of 3% year over year. That figure rose to 895 billion in 2025, an increase of 1%. So spending is still increasing here. You have to see the US, and this will be the last one on this one. They are like a person without financial self-control. They are making more and more debt and increase their spending while they are making more and more debt, and then they push it on and just get another credit allowance, so to say, and can prolong when they are going to pay it back. So that is the debt ceiling deal. This debt ceiling, this is also important, by the way. This debt ceiling deal does nothing to limit the Senate's ability to appropriate emergency supplemental funds to ensure our military capabilities are sufficient to deter China, Russia, and our other adversaries and respond to ongoing and growing national security threats. So, and that also means that if there's other emergency supplemental funds necessary, that the Senate can also appropriate that. So there could be more and more money spent on this. Anyways, that is number one. That is going to Supercharge Bitcoin. And if you like that, smash the like button. Now, the top Fed officials see no compelling reason to wait for fresh rate rise. So that ceiling deal removes big piece of uncertainty. So it seems that we could actually get a rate hike pause, which could also add to the positive market sentiment. Then also we have the Hong Kong opening that was yesterday. We have talked about this on the stream before, that the Hong Kong exchanges can now list crypto. So there are, let's say, several regulatory things that you have to do. But there are some 80 exchanges that already applied to list, and that is also why we do not see a massive pump yet, because basically I think besides a stable coin or so, nothing is really done here on the Hong Kong exchange opening. So what we see here, Hong Kong's comprehensive virtual asset regulatory framework follows the principle of same business, same risk, same rules, and aims to provide robust investor protection and manage key risks. So requirements for obtaining a license include a capital of at least 5 million Hong Kong dollars, that's only 638,000, measures to combat money laundering, and appointment of experienced managers. Operators of virtual asset trading platforms who are prepared to comply with the SFC standards are welcome to apply for license. And that is recently, right? So many are still in the process of applying for the license. Those who do not plan to do so should proceed to an orderly closure of the business in Hong Kong. More than 80 companies have expressed their interest in obtaining a license. Authorities say mainland Chinese companies, and this is interesting here, mainland Chinese companies are particularly eager to enter the Hong Kong market because they face a total ban on providing cryptocurrency related services at home. So the exchanges that cannot do the business in China, they are maybe coming to Hong Kong to do their business from there, and that is also another factor that can supercharge Bitcoin here, because that is opening up the gate. Since 2018, retail investors in Hong Kong are not allowed to trade and buy and sell cryptocurrencies, and now this will be possible through more than 80 different companies that will be there. So that is good as well. Now, with regards to Bitcoin, there are several investors now, world's most powerful people in money, that have been commenting, and I think it's good for us to see what they say. So this is a 1 minute clip roughly. I think it's 1 minute and a bit, 1 minute 40 maybe. So not too long, but let's watch this together, because I think it's interesting to listen how these people react to Bitcoin. This was already from, I think this video is from 2021, so during the last bull run. But I think it's really interesting to listen to that, and maybe we can listen every other stream to one of these guys, what they say about Bitcoin.
Maybe a frame, but people will pay millions or tens of millions of dollars for it. And so it comes down at the very basic level for supply and demand. So Bitcoin is the only economic entity where the supply is unaffected by the demand. So even with gold, if gold, which is $1,800 today, if gold goes to $18,000, there will be a lot more gold mined, because mines that are unprofitable will become profitable. And so gold, which accretes today, the production of gold is equal to about 1.5% to 2% of the total value per year. That's the same accretion that Bitcoin has currently. But this year, 2022, I think will drop below 1.5% on that. So only 21 million Bitcoin can ever be created, or close to it. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin is 100,000 or 20 million, there's only going to be that many of them. So all you have to really believe is that the demand for Bitcoin will grow faster than 1.5%, over the next number of years, and the price inexorably will go up. So I've only recently been allowing myself to be described as a Bitcoin bull. I used to tell people, they say, oh, you're a Bitcoin bull, you own a lot of Bitcoin. I'm like, I do own a lot of it, but I'm actually a Bitcoin observer, and I'm observing its trajectory as a new technology and comparing it to the trajectories of things like the printing press, or the steam engine, or the railroads, or the automobile, or electricity, and it's following that very, not predictable, because it's not predictable certainly in the early days, a well understood path for the adoption of new technologies. And I think it was Stan Druckenmiller said earlier in the year that, and now he owns Bitcoin, by the way.
Okay, so as we have heard, the guy was not convinced initially about Bitcoin as a very, very famous investor, but he compares it now. He's an observer of the technology improvement in the blockchain space, especially with Bitcoin. He compares it to the development of the steam engine of the car, of infrastructural magnitude, so to say, how we all live and deal. So that is certainly impressive view, let's say, right? And the way he puts it with a simple view on supply and demand is also something that I just thought was interesting, the way these people put their thoughts around Bitcoin. Now, before we get deeper into the stuff, by the way, good morning, Energy. What's up? How are you doing? Let's look quickly about how Bitcoin is doing today, and just get rid of the lines that we drew in here along the last streams. We'll look a little bit more to the short term, how the market reacts. And I expect this to turn, this green candle here, to go up more, because of a reason that I will show to you in a second. If we see, we are still in this falling flag, so to say. We have gotten rejected here, and now we will see if we are coming up there or not. Energy says, just woke up and have my first coffee, and good morning to you. Let's have our coffee together, guys. 8 people here. It's Friday morning. It's almost the freaking weekend. So let's have a coffee on that one. And guys, smash the like button if you enjoy this. Now, why? So we have heard that the dollar gets devalued, right? That because of the debt ceiling, because of what we have talked before, and that there might not be another rate hike, which is speculation. But let's look at the DXY, because here is a significant change in the direction that we have. Also, everyone who was here yesterday and actually the day before, I said that if we can put in a lower high here on the DXY, on the dollar value, so this is the valuation, to repeat that for everyone who is new here, that is the valuation of the dollar against other currencies in the world. And that one so basically, why did this turn red 2 days ago? Because that was when the whole thing with the debt ceiling passed the House of Representatives and was passed onto the Senate. That was when this thing took a hit and turned around. And then yesterday in the evening plus today right now, it's clear that the dollar gets devalued, right? So what do you do if you know beforehand that something that you are in right now gets devalued? You get out. So people putting their money elsewhere. And that is usually the time where people put their money into something where they think they can make a profit. So what we see is that this is a clear tendency now. Apparently, with the long wicks here, we got rejected on that notice of the debt ceiling approval. This means that the dollar gets devalued by at least 2 trillion to another 2 trillion, which is almost it's almost, but not quite 10% of what is already there in that, right? So yeah, that is the DXY. Now what happens in the DXY drops risk on assets, and assets overall, they go up. So let's get back to Bitcoin here, because that is exactly what we see right now. It's only with a 1 day delay, so to say. And it's not that directly correlation from one or the other news. So this candle cannot be related to, oh, Hong Kong opened their exchange yesterday and that's why we see a spike up in Bitcoin, right? Or we could also sit here and interpret and say, oh, this green candle here is because the rate hikes are probably stopped and people did not speculate that here before. Or you could sit here and say the debt ceiling approval in itself, or the Ripple lawsuit that is coming up. So how do you make sense of what you see in the broader picture of your chart, in my opinion? And this is why I pull this up all the time, because then we can make sense of why the money flow is, whether basically money is flowing into the pile, that is when this chart here is dropping, or when money is flowing out of the pile, that is when this chart is rallying. So with the pile, I mean the pile of investments, stock markets, gold, Bitcoin, Pokemon cards, NFTs, the OMI token, whatever, right? That's the pile. And here the Fed has been working on dragging money out of the pile by raising interest rates. And now basically many factors come together to make the US and maybe the rest of the world to put money back into the market, make the money flow back into the market. So the very Stone Age mentality truth here is, in my opinion, that this is for Bitcoin, number go up, number go down. That's the simple truth, and usually a little bit lagging. As I've shown you before, and I will show this once again, when this chart rallied hard, and it rallied so hard, that is our entire bear market. This whole trajectory here is our bear market. Yeah, if you look here, this is our double top in the bull market when the price got wrecked on the DXY. And now for the lagging part, which we have also briefly discussed, but maybe this is important here. When this topped out in September, and then put in a lower high in October, and then collapsed in November. So we had our Bitcoin bottom on the 22nd of November. That was somewhere here. That was here. We have already collapsed. So if we see this collapse right now, it could be that the pump in Bitcoin is coming with a delay. And that's why I gave this stream the title Supercharge Bitcoin, because there are things right now that are coming in with a delay. Hong Kong, it did open, but until retail investors can put money, there are weeks to go still. Until these exchanges can go up and everyone gets the message in Hong Kong that you can do that on these companies right now, that's going to take a while. Until the money printer goes on because of the debt ceiling, that's going to take a while. So there are delays to the news that we have here. The short-term movement is speculative, but the long-term outlook, in my opinion, is a supercharged Bitcoin. And that is why miners are going to continue to mine Bitcoin. And why investors are taking a look on Bitcoin. Let me show this quickly to you. This here is a immersive mining factory. I will get rid of the sound here. So what you see here is an entire hall of Bitcoin miners that are in a cooling liquid. And this whole thing is just to mine Bitcoin. And there's a reason for it, because you wouldn't do that if you are not expecting, with all that energy cost that you have here, to be massively profitable. And that's a whole lot of energy cost, right? Some Bitcoin mining institutions are using free energy, like maybe volcanic energy in some countries. But if you don't have that, or you have a solar park that overshoots power supply by far, then you have to mine on cost. And that is what broke some of the miners a while ago in the bear market, because prices were just plummeting and energy prices were going up. So, and you cannot store energy when it's cheap, which is why you have to deal with these things, like have a Bitcoin stock and then load off, even during a bear market, to finance yourself, which accelerated the bear market, right? So that was when basically also the miners, it's again the play where if you take the dollar and you take the Bitcoin, the miners had to sell the Bitcoin into dollar to pay their bills. And now they are going to basically put dollar into mining and stacking Bitcoin. So everyone here, even you guys, are dealing that way. You have cash, you want to move into something, you are considering right now to move into something. So that's just something that I wanted to add here. Now, there's also the question, what also can supercharge crypto in general and lead to an intermediary altcoin season is Ripple. Ripple is nearing the Hinman document release, and I have apparently made 2 smaller mistakes in my video about this Ripple and influencing the Ecomi price there. So I made this video, it went pretty good. I think we have closer to 2,000 clicks now on that video. But it's about the release of these documents. So apparently these documents are in the possession of Ripple, and Ripple can just not open them, but they can base their defense on it, which is very good. But the other one is the date, and that is important, because here in this article it says on June 13th we will finally know, he answered. So at the time of making the video I thought it must be 21 days from there, but apparently it's 21 working days. So I calculated this on the 5th of June, which is not, it's the 13th of June when these Hinman documents are released. And just for everyone who doesn't know, these documents are the documents on the basis of which the then SEC director said that Ethereum was not a security. So we will be able to see his reasoning then, right? So that is something that I want to share with you here. So we need to wait, unfortunately, another 11 days until these documents are coming out. Then Ripple expects the decision of the lawsuit within 2023. And that's another factor that can supercharge Bitcoin, because even if this is more about altcoins and Bitcoin is safe anyways, the collapse of the entire space of the altcoins with a negative lawsuit here against XRP would be devastating for Bitcoin as well, in my opinion, in the short term, because then all the trading pairs with Bitcoin and stuff would go away. On the other hand, probably everyone who wants to quickly save their money would sell all the altcoins and move that probably into Bitcoin, which would then also give more steam to Bitcoin. But overall, it would be super bad for the crypto space, and I highly doubt that this is going to happen. So there's a really, really good chance for XRP to win this lawsuit. So they are expecting to close this lawsuit in 2023. Now, what else? There are 2 little more things from the altcoin space, and the first one is Crypto.com joins the ranks of licensed payment institutions in Singapore. So the good news there for Crow holders and also for people that are using Crypto.com, They are expanding their regulatory achievements by securing a license for digital payment token services. That is good for crypto.com. In Singapore, Singapore is very advanced with crypto and is about to become one of the, so to say, crypto hubs. Energy says, if we would get in Veve not too far in the future, OMI to NFT, would you use this option? And if so, how many of your stuff would you sell? So you mean OMI to NFT and back? You mean that I would sell my NFTs to get more OMI? How many of your stuff? I don't know. I'm more bullish. I said that many times before, and a lot of people don't agree with me. I am more bullish on Veve collectibles than I am on Ecomi, and so far that is my vote in Veve has held up way better than my Ecomi stack. So that is for sure something that I will continue to consider. Maybe I will sell off some things and convert that into OMI, but it depends. More for leveling out my portfolio, maybe. Second little one before we really discuss Ecomi, because there's something to say about Ecomi. Germany's Deutsche Telekom plugs in as Polygon validator. That's also interesting. That is in Germany, Telekom is the mobile network operator, a giant that is big news for Polygon. The German telecommunications firm looks to leverage its infrastructure in Web3, plug in as network validator for Ethereum scaling protocol Polygon. So good for Polygon holders, good for Telecom, I guess. So that is just another good one. Now, let's quickly go to Vevefam, because I need to pull up something for you, which is not as it's basically the Ecomi channel, because we need to talk a little bit about Ecomi there, because there is something. I don't know even how can I get rid of the sidebar though from Twitter. So here we go. Ecomi. And this is not meant as fun, but I am really, really annoyed, and I posted this yesterday on Twitter, by the way the Ecomi channel is handling their communication. And by the way, good morning, Harbringer. Good morning to you. 9 hours ago, ICYMI, you can win Veve official digital collectible NFTs weekly in the Discord server. Okay, thanks for that, but that's why we have the Veve channel. Then they retweet the Happy Tree Friends drop. That, yes, is cool, but again, you are the Ecomi token channel. And then this one from Veve, and then this one from Veve, and then this one from David Yu. So David Yu retweets Last Call, and then Ecomi retweets David Yu. So this seems to be a method of maintaining. Look at this. There's only Veve stuff. It's like the same content as the Veve channel. Plus, then occasionally this collective shift articles, and understanding crypto is hard, but that shouldn't deter you from learning about it. I want Ecomi news. First of all, I want to make content about Ecomi, but I can't because there's no content to make. There is only memes and replies and retweets from Veve, and that sucks. It sucks because I want to make Ecomi content. I want to be bullish about Ecomi. For everyone who's German, by the way, there will be a collector's talk here on Captain Veve stream, German YouTuber. If it's super interesting, I will do the same as with. Oh no, it's in English anyway, so it doesn't matter because David Yu doesn't speak German. But anyways, what I was getting at is, yesterday I posted this. Where's my post? There it is. I wish the Ecomi channel was not just a pure retweet channel for Veve stuff and some collective shift articles. And that's really my point of annoyance, right? Because why can't they just put out anything, something that they have developed over time, or are they wanting? So my let's say my worst case theory is that they have not been working at all at Ecomi implementation in the last year, and they are just retweeting and tweeting and replying and putting out collective shift stuff so that their Twitter account counts as active, and therefore Ecomi token is rated high, because there is analysis about how active the Twitter is in order to judge whether a token is dead or not. So they are preventing from the Ecomi token being seen as dead by tweeting. By the way, information for you, very transparent. I have contacted Reese to get him on the channel because I want answers for us with regards to the Ecomi token, and he replied to me that he would agree to come on once they have published news about the Ecomi token. So no answers for us yet, and I don't know when they will publish news for the Ecomi token, but until then, unfortunately, no Reese on this channel, I have to admit and say. Now, Harbringer says, same PH, I'm bullish like never on Veve. Fundamentals are just getting better and better, but people are impatient. That's true, and I think Veve is still looking pretty good with everything they have achieved. We will come to that in a second as well. Energy says true, but what to do if there are no news? Yeah, but that's the problem, and that's what I had in the discussion. So there was a video of me being on of me and Jordan Riss and Doctor of Stuff and so on the around the Ecomiverse. It went pretty viral on Twitter as well when Jordan Riss revealed that he remortgaged his house twice or 3 times, or I don't know how much, for buying more Ecomi, because on the basis of what? I mean, yes, there is if they bring all this utility right now, then probably that we will see a massive green candle, and then it's too late for us to stock up. But on the other hand, you have to see that bullish speculation is there since 2021. But the price has been only going down, and there was nothing in improvements around Ecomi whatsoever. So on the basis of what am I going into Ecomi? With the Veve collectibles, it's different. On the basis of what am I purchasing a secret rare comic that has only 125 circulating supply? On the basis of scarcity, on the basis of big IP, on the basis of that there is a comparative real life value for most of these comics and covers. So that for me, that there's grounds to allocate $100 into one comic like that, with the potential upside of a 20x just by where the real life value sits with a comparative scarcity, right? So I'm talking about the Banshee secret rare in this case, but there are many other cases to be made out there. Roman Frey, good morning. What do you think about the Ecomi development arising around the BTC halving? Yeah, so I think they would. So here's the twist. I don't think that they are never going to build something around Ecomi. That's not what I want to say here. I just want to say that this senseless tweeting is annoying, right? But I think, Omi to NFT at some point will come. I think they are stalling because of the Ripple lawsuit. I think there is somewhat the hope that this Ripple lawsuit can clarify the grounds on what you can and cannot do with an altcoin, and how you can and cannot implement it in an app that gives value to it, like Veve, the backbone app, which is why I am reporting on that Ripple lawsuit here on the stream time and time again. Because I think they are looking at what is happening there. They want to know, so Ecomi basically, they don't need the decision of the lawsuit in the end. Probably they need to know what's written in those Hinman documents. I'm pretty sure that this is what they are waiting for, because this will provide legal precedents for what you can and cannot do with a token that had a token ICO and where large amounts of the token are still held by the founders. The other one is crypto regulation in New Zealand in specific, and whether they have to move Ecomi as a business part somewhere else. I think they are. Ecomi, I think, or Orbis, I think, is listed in Singapore, not in New Zealand, but the operations for the Veve app and everything else is in New Zealand, if I get that right. But you can correct me there if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know for sure about this. Yeah, so Roman, thank you for that one. Then Harbringer says prioritization issue. Veve is still facing big issues. An open chant here basically open topics. If Veve succeeds, then Ecomi will succeed too, and vice versa. I think Harbringer, you are right. It's a prioritization issue, but then again, for some other altcoins, we have GitHub, for example, or we can see what development is made on that, but we cannot see that for Ecomi because there's nothing to see how much developer publishes we have and so on. So yeah, then again, there are these two sides. That's what I also said, that there's this big divide in the streams before. You remember the disconnect stream? So let's see what you are saying in the channel. NFT Hero says, you talk a lot of sense. Correct, Orbis is in Singapore, Ecomi is New Zealand. Okay, so Ecomi, but that's a problem then, because Ecomi, if Ecomi is in Singapore and Orbis is listed there, probably if New Zealand has harder rules for altcoins than the US, for example, then there might be the consideration to at least move Ecomi as a legal entity also out of New Zealand, if that's possible. Anyways, that's just a legal issue. Now, with regards to that, the Ecomi price is where it was yesterday, so I'm not even pulling that up for you guys. But Veve is the backbone to provide, and that's what Harbringer says with the prioritization, to provide value one day into Ecomi. So early investors into Ecomi, which were basically funding the project, somehow have to get a return via Ecomi, right? But then again, that fulfills the part of the Howey test, where you are basically investing into an altcoin with the expectation of a return provided by a third party. And that's why that cannot be managed in a way that they directly get back money on top of their Ecomi. So the value really has to be created by the secondary market in the Veve app, and therefore we need that implementation. It needs to be something. It's not decentralized, but it needs to be passive. It cannot be an action from the team, because otherwise certainly Veve would, Ecomi would fulfill the Howey test in that sense and would be a security. Energy says, by the way, since yesterday, I joined the Infinity Gauntlet ownership. Yeah, I saw that. I retweeted that. We can pull that up here because you have burned some pretty high value items there. So there it is. Energy has burned the 339 mint of Ether, several normal mints of the other stones, and then a secret rare Eye of Agamotto sub 1000 mint. Yeah, owe me to the moon. We all hope the best, and I hope the best for you, that you get some pretty awesome airdrops here. By the way, we have 1 week left to create the gauntlet. Sorry about that. We have 1 week left to create the gauntlet. Guys, by the way, 22 people here. please smash up the like button. If the likes are not matching the viewers, then we have failed. So thanks for the like there. Please smash the like button as hard as you can with your Infinity Gauntlets. I have the normal gauntlet. Unfortunately, I didn't have I didn't make the smart move to just buy a secret rare when it was like 60 gems or so. Some people did that, and they are sitting quite nicely now with the expectation of Thanos drop. Although probably if I had a secret rare IF Agamotto, I would probably have sold that one if I had only one, because if you think about it, the secret rare Thor is only 150 gems. It has a circulating supply of 1,850 or something like that. And if you see that scarcity, it's also high IP. I would say Thor is more famous than Thanos or Warrior Thanos. And Thanos is going to have more or less 1,000 edition circulating supply. So Thanos then should, in that comparison, not be above 400 gems, but it will, because people are irrational, let's say. It will sit above that, but just to compare the two. So the Thor Secret Rare and Ultimate Animated is sitting at that price point with double the edition numbers. So what will give value to Warrior Thanos is that people burned the high value Eye of Agamotto now. And that means also they are not going to floor the Warrior Thanos for a loss, and that is going to make the price point, in my opinion. Whereas King is there. Hey, hodler, really enjoy your content, mate. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yesterday I got a comment that my videos are too long, and by that they meant the live streams, but I really want to maintain morning live streams, weekly evening live stream, and then also videos to come out. Unfortunately, I have been in such a craze with work that I was not able to make more than these morning streams, one evening stream, and I really want to bring out another VeChain video that unfortunately I could not make last weekend. But right after that stream, I will head to work, be the whole day at work, and then afterwards I will work on my channel stuff. So yeah, for me it's become a 24/7 thing here. But I really appreciate you guys supporting me here with over 20 people in the morning. Really appreciate that all. So let's take a quick look here at the Veve channel. Yeah, I am excited about this drop. I hope you are too. Not because I am the biggest or the massive fan of Happy Tree Friends. It's just giving me some nostalgia when we were watching this, when we were like 15 years old or 16 years old, and we were showing this to each other at school. It's just something, I think they are all cool. They're all animated, so you hit an animated anyways on drop. It's only 25 gems with a gamble on a 550 scarcity collectible, which is the last one. And this one specifically is super cool, this bubblegum dude. I think you can do a lot of cool things with them in the vault, and maybe later there hopefully is at least something that you can do. That one is also super funny. Yeah, and Energy says Thor doesn't wear the Infinity Stones. Smarty Pants says the important thing and by the way, Energy, I agree, it's just different. Smarty Pants says the important thing to know is how many people who crafted with the SRI and got the eye when it was low in price was versus how many crafted with the SRI who bought it in this hype. Yeah, 100% agree. But still, even if they bought the eye low and didn't sell and burned it, in their mind they burned a $1,000 item, right? So in their even if they got it low, they want the value of what they burned. that would probably affect what price people will be happy to floor Thanos at. Yeah, I think so. I think you are right with that, and I wish the best to everyone who already got this. So today, 5 p.m. for me in the evening or afternoon, I'm going for that drop. Then also there's the next presidential series coming up for the Veve USPS stamps. So partnership with USPS still rolling. There are stamp collectors here on the app. That's cool. They get something to do. And I think that's it for the drop announcements. These are the new drop announcements that we have. So good luck for everyone who is going for that drop. With that said, guys, I am already at the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining. At least now that I'm at the end of the stream, 6 more people joined. But guys, anyway, no matter what, smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Tick the little bell to always get notified whenever I upload a stream. I will do my best to, in the evening, rework all the timestamps of the last 3 or 4 streams, which I wasn't able to do because of all the craze at work. And with that said, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a